Hey guys, how's it going? It is March 20th, 2022, and we're back into Run8 Train Simulator version 3. I'm going to focus on some tutorials just out of trying to help others. I think this is the best way to help other than actually taking people and going into voice and all this other stuff. So, actually, I got to take this offline. Let me take that off. One thing I do is I will often go in the public lobby and actually stream what I'm doing, but and my computer is there. It's in the middle of booting. Just remind me later. Thank you. Remind me later, or never remind me again. How about that? That'd be a good option. Okay. So this is the train that I brought back last night. If you guys are watching, I had as well as bringing it back. Oh, good. I did take the EOT off, so that's good. So first thing you want to do is you come on the server and you want to acquire. Well, before you even do that, you go into Discord, various locations. RTS Mojave, for example, is where LOQ53 has returned to Mojave from the north side. I'll do the south side in a little bit, perhaps in a video tutorial. And then I just put in starting tutorial now, running the south side before lunch break to complete this job. Okay, just like that. Now we're hoping it's not going to take too long. I see there's a train that's lined up, but that's okay. How bad is it everywhere else? Not too bad. Go away with Adobe Flash. Jesus, Murphy. I just want to see my peeps. I don't care about anything else. Alright. I see my video. It looks kind of like what that looks. That's awesome. Hey, Christopher. Okay. So I'm gonna pop out the chat as usual, so I can see what you guys are saying. If you have any questions, by all means. Oops, did I screw that up? No, it's just Adobe Flash being a goofy thing. Okay. Awesome. Here we go. I tell you, it takes like 2 minutes to get ready every time I start. Okay. And I can't help it because I have to have the stream up before I can pop out the chat, and it takes like 2 minutes to do it. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to click on the lead unit of the train you're interested in. If this was headed the other way, there would be here a button where it would say set as lead unit, or you can of course AI recrew. We're not AIing this. A lot of times you will have a train that comes in from a previous person who was running, like myself. Now, because I ran it, here comes our one train. Oh, that's good. So we'll head out right after him. And sometimes an EOT will be on. In this case, there is no EOT on. That's good. But assuming everything has air, now you can always do this. Auto start, auto MU. Now I'm not going to auto EOT. I'll see, it starts, just the air releases and it seeps ahead a bit. That's okay. You can release all your brakes and then give yourself about 5 cars here. Now Mojave's on a grade here. How do you find that out? I'll show you. Shift Z or the horn and rail driver will give you information here. So we're currently down on a 1% grade here. So it says. Now what you want to do, you're not worried about these cars. They've already got their handbrakes on, everything's cool. If for some reason this was yellow, you would have to back it up. You have to back it up. It would say that it's too stretched, but in this case we're good. We're tight enough that we can make the separation. If you didn't want to dump the air of your train and you were switching stuff, and we probably do that later, you would close both sides. You can also drain the air. I don't think I'm going to do it here, but just because it's on the grade, but you can also drain the air, and I'll show that more into Barstow maybe later today. Close the angle cock off, open the coupler. You're closing the air. You're keeping the air within so it doesn't escape. The air is what a lot of rush of air is going to throw it into emergency. You don't want that. Okay. So we're in... okay, we already seen the grade. We don't need to see any more grade information or signal information. We're familiar with what we're seeing there. So this is a good one. You're in forward. Sometimes you'll be stuck in reverse or something like that. You have to keep in neutral before... You have to keep everything in neutral before you can change everything. So now, notch it up one at a time. You can hear it. Well, it does two. It's not the end of the world. You can do one. You're going downhill here, so you'll see the coupler pounds start going. There. And you're okay. The cars are holding behind you, you're good. This is a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit in the yard. You're going downhill. So you want to have preferably dynamic brakes. Going over manual switches in reverse require 10 miles an hour. The yard limit speed is 15. I'm going a little bit more. It's okay. You can go a tiny bit over without having issues. But obviously you want to abide by the speed limits. So again, this is like a 1% grade going down. I don't know what the rest of the grade is. You can flick through the screens if you wish. I prefer to see this screen because it gives me everything in front of me without having to turn to the rail driver. Now switches, you have to see what's going on here. Now we're not leaving. We got to go grab some cars because we're doing the second half. You'll get to know the locals and what they do. I had a tutorial yesterday, but it's very long because they take a long time. But I'll show you what. You don't want to go through the red light. Now, the cars that we are getting, I'll show you. I'm putting the independent brake on. It backs off on the dynamic as well. Then you can take the dynamic right off. So dynamic is a way of the engine slowing you down. Goes in the reverse order. These are the cars that we want. So yeah, we got to go all the way down back here. But that's the way we switched it from. The train is blocked well enough. So in this situation now, we got to switch against us right here because it's yellow, right? Hey Bart. So I flick a switch here. This is the switch we're going to want to go by. Now, you can ask for a signal, but it's kind of a waste. What I prefer to do in this situation is well, we got another train coming up, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead of him. He hasn't given a signal yet, so this is good timing. You right mouse click to get it to blue. That goes into manual control. Click that once. That comes into here. You can right mouse again. Then right mouse this. It goes like a lunar white. As you can see, it's a flashing red now. That means you have restricted speed. You're limited to 15 miles an hour, and you must brake. The signal rules are you must brake within half the distance, as far as I know. At least they are in Canada, so that's what I'm going by. So just notch it up. too much dynamics. Full independence. Give us some more dynamics to slow it down. Okay. Put it in reverse to put the lights on. If you want lights on the trailing unit, this is a short hood, not a long hood. Long hood would be the if it was faced the other way. So short hood trail, and then you can control it by your rail driver if you have it set, or whatever the keyboard. I don't know all the keyboard settings, so you're gonna have to look those up. To flick a manual switch, you just click on it. To ride the back, go towards the railing, F11. If you want to ride right at the top, F11 again, and then the arrow key. 3 horn blasts are usual for reversing movements. And then we can go. Now it takes a little bit more power because you're going up a hill. But you don't want too much, because manual switches in the reverse should only be set at go as much as 10 miles an hour. Once we're clear of the switch, then you can yeah, we're already over it, but that's okay, as long as we're watching. Okay, we should be over it now. We're rocking back and forth. This is a 15 mile an hour zone. Again, if you wanted to go like this, I think I saw it there. That's our length. Come on. Yeah. Oh, we're in a 10 mile an hour zone. Pardon me. I don't know why. It's probably because we didn't take the. I'll go 10. Why not? 10.4 to be exact. A little bit slower than I wanted, but I know it's 15. It just, for some reason, it threw it that way. Now, you notice the switch is still there, but it's not in manual control. The dynamic is off. The AI can take control of that at any time. If you're curious as to what's going on at various industries, again, we're LOQ53. Now, I right click Control and L. That tells me my 2 pickups. These weren't picked up for some reason. I don't know why, but these cars were picked up. They were all picked up and nothing was set off. Don't do that. It's a waste of time. I will be adding more to the schedule in the sheets. I'll go more about the sheets later. Left control in another tutorial. Left control, Control L will give you a look at what industry cars there are. We go to LOQ53, you'll notice here's those 2 cars we talked about. Everything else has 119, 108. So I ran this last night. You should never run a local more than 48 hours on the server. So if you can't finish it within 48 hours, don't run it. That's my advice. Because if you don't, what happens is we're on a 7-day cycle. This is set for a 5-day cycle. So 119 was an hour ago. I dropped off at WinTag. So an hour has passed. This is a lull time of 5 days. The reason why it's 5 days as opposed to 7 is it gives it enough time so that if you go out, your cars are ready. That's the whole purpose of that. You can see my cars in the fog there. And we take a look, and there you go. See, the AI dispatcher has given a light. Now, you may want to know, well, how do I know where to go? What's everything? One of the best resources that you will find for maps is, I think it's the Depot server. Yes, look at that. I even remembered that I was there. So the depotserver.com. Go to that. They have a forum there. Feel free to join if you want. I'm not a member. In fact, I'm banned. Shh. But anyways, Thankfully, I still have access to this, and if I didn't, I'd do my own maps. But we go to maps, and you just click on the one that you want to see. Now, I've, of course, already downloaded all these. We're the Mojave sub, right? There's the train. So I have it open already. So I can tell you right now the ones that we are going for: Paramount, PPG Aerospace, and Nicklor. There's nothing going on in Nicklor. There's no cars there, there's no nothing, and we don't have anything for it, but I'll show you how you find that out in a minute once we connect to these. This isn't your typical switching job, I'll tell you that right now, because normally you're picking up cars, you're scouting them out of the way, and then dropping off what you have. Here is going to be pretty easy for today. Like I said, this is going to be really, really simple. But normally it gets a little bit more intense switching wise, and you'll learn a few things here. And that's the basics. I have set-offs, and I do have pickups. That's all that matters. So I try to keep these tutorials as low as possible, but trying to get it in play, the various concepts are often difficult. So you have to be willing to do the work. Now, I normally would try to do it during a 5-hour live stream. You can find that information if you go onto my YouTube page and look under tutorials. You'll find the ones that I've marked as tutorials. I've done a lot of them lately. Do I have a tutorial for what you may be looking for? Possibly not. If so, let me know. Somebody in the forums today let me know some of the things they're looking for, which is perfect. It's perfect communication. I would rather have questions than people doing things and, not sure what the heck they're doing, basically. And if you make mistakes, it's okay. As long as you're not intentionally trying. You want to get below 4 miles per hour here. My speed is... I'm looking at the... there we go. Okay. Put your independent brakes on. That holds you and the train. If it's too heavy, then you may need air. So, this is what our train looks like here now. The problem, there's an issue, there's a bug. None of these air hoses are hooked up, even though I know I left them. So, in order to cheat, and unfortunately, this is going to be a thing, a recurring thing, especially when you pick up cars. Normally, you'd bleed the air, but we'll show you all that. But for now, hit the F7 button. That's called an angle cock air hose set for normal operations. The air brake system recharges. We were okay. We weren't using air brakes. So, oh, by the way, F12, shift F12. F12 gets you anchored. Shift F12 gets you off the ground. Q and E controls your altitude. WSAD moves you around in directions on your keyboard. We don't need an EOT, but I mean, I could put a flag here. So it's daylight operations. If I wanted to, I could put a flag. But let's say we'll put an EOT. Okay. Daytime switching operations. As long as you're below 15 miles an hour, you can attach a flag for daylight operations. You can put a flare too. I've been criticized by my colleague Scott saying that I cost the railroad a lot of money by using flares. I just have fun with them. But anyways, so let's put the EOT in. So we'll attach an EOT. Now you can do this by clicking on the train and auto EOTing. I prefer to put the EOT on. So there we go. Not always, but sometimes I do. It depends if I'm in a hurry or not. Now it's real simple. This thing is useless right now, other than flashing a light. in order to get this to give information, you have to open the angle cock. You have to let all this air through, this air hose here. So we let that all out. Okay, and you can hear the air going through. That's monitoring what the what everything is. Now, because we did an F7, we don't have to worry about the air hoses. Everything's fine. Like, you know, everything's opened up. The line's opened up. Everything's good. So now, put it back into forward. I'm not worried about the grid again. I'm going to be looking at this screen. Slowly reduce the independent brake. Give yourself some more because, of course, well, we're going downhill, but we should be going. What happens is, oh, I'm sorry. One thing I forgot. Release all the handbrakes. So you got this little red light here. That means there's handbrakes on. Click it. Always check that, because if you run with them on, you're going to get caught by a detector and your cars are going to be smoking. I've done it, trust me. Not a big deal. It just requires cooling down. Doesn't take long, like a few minutes. Has my speed changed at all in here? No, I still have to go 10, huh? Okay, fine. So now I'm using dynamic brakes because I'm going downhill. Independent brakes you shouldn't use unless you're below 10 miles an hour, but speed control is also useless unless you're going uphill. We might be able to use that later. So, now to get prepared for this trip. Our reports are going to change. Remember that right control before we saw that we had two pickups, right? If you do right control now and L, suddenly you see we got setouts. So the first three cars are for Paramount. The last four are for PPG Aerospace. Again, Niklor does not have anything going on right now. So Paramount is going to be our first stop, and lo and behold, whoops, I'm going 15 miles an hour. Lo and behold, that's what you want. So if we look at the maps, Paramount is our first industry. So we can take a look at the dispatch board. We do have a train coming. I believe that's a UP. Yeah. It's a UP train. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call the dispatcher because I can get out of his way. I don't know where he is, but they haven't given him a light yet. Oh, by the way, calling the dispatcher, DTMF star 54, that's for UP. You hear the beep? There's like a tone back. This little window pops up. You have different options depending upon what you're doing. Sometimes it'll say, are you know, you can still run the speed, by the way. We want to request a signal. And you just wait to see what he says. Acknowledged. You're waiting for at least one train. For at least one. So there's one in front of us. The guy behind us might get a signal too. You're the low end of the totem pole. So get used to it. And they may already have plans to set him up. And if they do, you just gotta wait. Windows, by the way. You hold shift if you want to close them, if it's too noisy. But if you like it, you just open it up. Click and hold. Shift and hold will close it. Not too sure about the rent-a-conductor. Because my guy disappears all the time. Crew avatars. Here. He's not here right now. I know he's not. Because he's not there. Wow. You really got to pay attention to get the right dynamic setting. But anyways, let me try that again. Just in case you get lonely. There we go. Crew avatars. By the way, if you're going on a server, you should always have a name here. Enable rent-a-conductor. We'll go disabled, and then I'm going to re-enable it. Let's see what that does. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's in the washroom. Who knows? On the toilet. So this won't take too long of a job. There's only 2 industries which are very close. Of course, the main thing is what's the traffic like. It's not going to take long to switch, I can tell you that right now. He's still coming down the hill. I still think that they're going to give it to him. There is a Z train coming the other way. I don't know what they're going to do. Now the other thing you could do is you could request a certain area. I never thought of that. Instead of just requesting a signal, you can request a certain block. Sometimes that works. And I wish there was a way you can cancel your request. Like actually cancel your request, because I swear, there's times where I just... Because he's waiting to put me in an Ansel, I'm pretty sure he is. But you never know. He might... he might surprise me. Full dynamics now, because I want to see both signals. Then you can take your dynamics off, and we hurry up and wait. Okay. Now, being a local number, he may not know where to send you. I think he defaults to the engine, which is UP, so he will send me down UP, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but... see how far away he is. Ah, see, he's going... he's now... We're gonna be... One's going to Los Angeles. Let me see here. Okay. There's a Z train coming from Los Angeles, or yeah, LC, Long Beach, Los Angeles, whatever the hell it is. So I'll go fly around here for a second. See, what I should have done was I should have requested for a block. I may have been able to get through. And there are ways of doing it, because, like, look at this. There's nothing here. So, you can, oh, by the way, if you want to fly back to your area, if you're out of range, you just spacebar on Mojave. Whoops. Spacebar is the horn as well, so that's why I made noise at you. So, what I'll do is, since I'm impatient and he's nowhere near, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take that. Now we're going to have to wait once we get there anyways. Whoops. I have to give my light. There we go. So I'm flagging myself behind this signal. I don't have to go far. I don't need a crazy signal. I was trying to play by the rule book, but nah. I mean, there's no reason why I can't get out. He's trying to set up a meet as if I was a mainline, and I don't care about mainlines, so I got a 10-mile-an-hour restriction here, even though I'm not going it as usual. Gotta really pay attention. Now there's something here. Oh boy, this ain't gonna be good. Hopefully that train at Ansel doesn't try to come out like a signal, because I want to do something really quick. I'll take the manual control off of there. There we go. Okay. Call the dispatcher again. Because if they route it, now we request relinquish mainline authority. We have it. Okay, good. What that does is that puts a pink area over you. That allows you... Wow, I'm going way too fast. That allows you... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm in a 25 zone. That allows you to play around with the switches. Now, there's a Z train coming. That other guy is just going to sit there. I know it. They're not gonna move him, so I'm not gonna give up my authority until I'm pretty sure he's coming. Once I know he's coming, then that's fine. Okay, so we wanna shift F11 to come outside. Hit the brakes. You can walk, you can run, you can fly. When you're on the server, you got to be on the ground to throw switches. Okay. Oh, by the way, F12 here. You can... Where's my switch? Oh, I'm right on top of it. Shift 1 to store location. Control F11, go back in. Once that counter goes... I'm doing good today, Night Owl. Keep yourself below 10 miles an hour going over that switch. Can't tell if the counter is going. I got this stuff in the way. Right control A. That doesn't work on a server, by the way. It's a bug. But I'm going to keep it on once I get there. Because this stuff works in single player too. It works fine in single player. Okay. Control 1. That brings you back to your position here. You go ahead and you click that. Now you want to take a look around. It doesn't matter as long as you're going in there. So of course your set-off's on the front end, but you got 3 tracks here, so it's not a big deal. Once again, take a look at the F3. The Z train is coming. He wants to go. So, unfortunately, yeah, he's coming. He's coming up. So what I'll do is I'll do the right thing. It's gonna put me in the hole for a bit, but I'll give up my authority. I'd love to see it if they want it and they start bugging you and wanting authority back. I'll relinquish it. And if he doesn't take it, then I'll take it back. If he's got it, then that means he's coming, right? So my cars are on oh, actually they're on the tail end. Perfect. That's even better. So this is drop and go. Works good. Once you're in that orange area, you're fine, but we're gonna put it on these things. Okay. So to get rid of this, you want to close this first. Don't remove it, or else you take out the air. Now you can remove once you've closed the angle cock. Now here's how air works. Okay, you've got air in everything here. The airline, or the train's airlines. Okay, so PPG we don't have to worry about. We want this POC stuff to sit here. So it doesn't need it, but I put two brakes on anyways. It's only 3 cars. It's not a big deal. Okay. So here's what you want to do. On here, you close the angle cock. You open the coupler. You're keeping the air within yourself, which is what you want to do. And from here, give it a notch or two. Am I playing online? Yes, I am. It's my server. So yeah, my server's on. Okay. Now we've separated. We attach the EOT, then you can open it up. Okay, so now we got next set off. So far, they have not requested the block, and that's because I think they're waiting for that BNSF to go. So they got a bit of a congestion. We can take advantage of that congestion. Again, dynamic brakes if you're going below 10. Once you're below 10, then you can hit the independents. Just easier on the brakes. You can walk up, make it realistic. Once he's walked, then I, you know, all bets are off. Okay. Our switch is ready to go out. 2 beeps going forward when you're ready to depart. You can do 1, or move forward, I should say. So that there tells you how much pressure you got. This is 90 pressure for freight, so 89. It's losing a pound somewhere. It's not a big deal. Normal. level crossing here. Then you want to put the counter on once you clear the crossing. If you hold the right control and stick your head out, you can hold control, and then you can see what's going on out the window. We go back to the map. This will take us to Fleta. Which isn't too far up here. See, now we got a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. Now, if we get to the switch in time, then, I mean, bonuses happen. Whoops, wrong one. If I go to my image here, you can see there's a 13,000 foot siding right here. There's not much difference between that. There's just this one little single section. If, however, a train is routed, then I can't do anything. If for some reason a train decides to route itself, and I'll explain this in a minute, because I don't want to be confusing here. Oh, I had speed control on. That's why I was stopping at 10, going up. Doesn't matter going down, but Control C is for speed control, so I turned it back off. I was wondering why I was stuck at 10. Well, we don't know. There's eventually going to be a train. But he's waiting for a way to get into Mojave. Okay. So the way we know, without looking at the board, you can take a look at the board before you do it anyways, but I'll show you what I mean. So again, we're walking up. This is our clearance limit, so we don't want to have the engine any closer. Give yourself time for the conductor to come out. There's a Z train that's coming northbound. And there's a southbound that we sat at Mojave. See, there's that Z train right there. This guy's going the other way. So far, so good. So it goes pink as soon as you throw the switch. I forgot to save my position. That's okay. Now there's this little area right here that I gotta stop on to get authority. It's really goofy, but just in case, because this is now classified as the main, now that I'm on it, you know, because it shows LOQ53. So what we want to do, if you're not sure what it is, it's always up here. Okay. Authority's been granted because nothing is coming through. And then that means we own that block. We can do whatever we want with those switches, and we're going to do our thing here anyways. Whoops. There we go. Just tugging ahead here. Oh, that's good. Cool. Okay, now I can call dispatcher again. Track speed's 25. Gonna relinquish our authority. Because we're off the main, we don't need it. Now the trains can pass us all they want. And sure enough, there's a Z train. So we were able to get in front of that Z train. He didn't give it authority until we were out of there. And I think he was waiting for that grain train. So we just got it in time. Had that not happened, we'd have to wait for him. So there's our next industry up ahead. Again, when you're on the server right now, you will not see that. But they're still a very useful tool. There's other ways of finding out if your industry's got, for example, right mouse control, or sorry, right control key and L, no, wrong one, left control key and L will show you that Paramount, there's 120. So that just got offloaded there. It also shows you that there's a pickup here because those two are in those industries. So once again, take a look at our map. Pretty straightforward. This one we're going to be picking up and setting off, I believe, if I recall. Yep. So there's ways you can drop out the conductor on the bottom, or you can, I'll show you another way you can get to the back of your train if I haven't done so already. I like doing things realistic speeds, but by rights I would have slowed down, let the conductor out, and then picked up, but I don't want this tutorial to go on any longer than it has to. Should be done in like 15 minutes now. Okay. Put the independents, we're below 12. Control F12 brings you back here to the back of your train. And we are not on a main line. So because we're not on a main line, it doesn't matter that that train is going through. We can flick those switches. Three beeps to go back. 3 honks of the horn. 3 short honks. F11 to grab onto the rail bar there. Remember, 10 miles an hour over reversed manual switches. And we can keep that switch because we're coming out the same way, nothing else is coming in. So we're going to be doing a few things here. One, we're going to do a set off, we're going to do a pickup, and, well, there's a lot of ways we can do it. Let me just take a look at the map here for a second and see. No. I thought I could run around. I'm not going to run around that way. We'll have to run around the other way, which we can't do just yet. Now we can ride backwards to Mojave, but in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a runaround. Wow, it's way high. So we got all these cars to drop. Ah, shoot. I thought he was on the other track. Here. Let's go forward. Of course, I got another train coming, but if I can time this right, I'll be able to... I don't know. Yeah, I should be able to. Should be able to follow him, put it that way. Night Owl says you can press E to get into the ladder. I usually use F11. Like that's jumping basically, but yeah, that's one way to do it. So either way, I'm used to using F11. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. When I first looked at it, I thought the cars were on the other track. So F12 to fly, I just like getting an overall perspective. Assuming there's two guys down there, let me turn the backlight off. I don't need that. I don't know why I had it on. Just always look behind you. There's no bumper here. Usually there is, but I don't think there's a bumper here. Didn't look like it. Okay. Nope. That's not good, because if it falls off, it disappears. So, 2 brakes should be plenty. 1's probably plenty, but... Okay. Again, we're closing off this. Open the coupler. And you can do it from the air. You can, whoops, that's not the way I wanted to do it. A lot of ways you can do it. F12 to anchor yourself to the ground. Then F11 again if you want to ride on top. So again, you want to couple it no more than 4 miles an hour. You can, but there's the higher you go, the more risk you are of corrupting the train, derailing. Corrupting the train's bad, because that screws up the train royally. So F12 to get up. Okay. Let go of all the parking brakes. Now, in this case, you're a train. Okay. So F7, because all the things are all screwed up as normal. And we'll go ahead and come forward. Nighthell has other ways of doing it, so if you want to check the chat comments, I'm not going to read them all. There's various ways of doing things. I've ran this for like 10 years, and I always do it the same way, so as long as it works, that's all I care. The dynamic brake's going. Okay, again, I'm going to cheat a bit here. usually I'd walk, but okay. So you don't want to lose all the air, so you close this off. You close both sides off now, and then you open the coupler. He's not quite there yet, so that's good. Okay. Again, speed limit 25. Now I could have took that whole train instead of stopping in Mojave. I could have brought it all down here and done this last and used this whole siding, which is an option. You certainly can do that. Last night I was getting tired. I just said, you know, I'm bringing in Mojave. That's it. Not only that, it's just extra cars, but you can do it. There's no reason why you can't do the full train, run right through, bypass Mojave, because this is a nice runaround track. Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to have to wait for one more. What else is new? I'll try to do a short tutorial, and the traffic says no, you're not doing a short tutorial. So like I said, hurry up and wait. Nothing else is coming. It's just a manifest too, but apparently they're not worried about that train that's sitting down there. And it will not allow me to throw a switch. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. Now you're wondering about all those cars, where are they? There's a reason for that. We could head backwards into Mojave and follow the other guy. That was an option. Probably would have been quicker, considering it's 12:30 now. I don't know how long this video's been, but I thought this would be a nice... That's the problem. Wow. Yeah, okay. This is why it takes hours to do a local in this. So you want to be able to do it on the server within 48 hours. Some locals take longer than others. Some locals you don't have to worry about dealing with AI traffic. Others, like the mainline here, you do. So anything out of Mojave, basically, you're dealing with mainline traffic. So now I can walk because I know I'm going to have to wait. So the plan here is, this is a runaround move. We're going to wait for this train to pass. We're going to request authority for the switches, and then we are going to AI our way back to Mojave, and that other guy is just going to have to sit there and wait, because for some reason they didn't give him, I thought they were going to give him access, but so watch this. Another train is currently lined over it. Oh, dim my headlights. So you got that MEPRV, which isn't even at Ansel yet. But so if I go down to page 7, no, not Bissell. Where am I here? Oh, page 10. Well, okay. So he could be anywhere between 399. He's probably at least up to here somewhere. So we'll give him 390. I don't know. Let's say 395. And we are sitting at milepost about 385, I would say. So he's probably about 10 miles away, or less. And the speed he's going, he's going to be, I don't know what the speed of the switch is. I'm not too sure if it tells you. Sometimes they do. Let's see here. Let's see what Ansel's siding switch is set for. Doesn't tell you. Don't know. How many RTS? How many willful violations have you committed today or otherwise? Well, today? I don't think I've done any today that I can recall. I mean, other than a minor speed infraction of like 2 miles an hour or whatever, but no, I haven't done anything. Okay, good. He's at Ansel now. So, for whatever reason, they're giving the manifest over him. I don't know why. I guess they're trying to keep things moving that way, but I would have gave it to him. I guess they couldn't have because of Oban, and there's another train that's already there. So, I mean, that's his twin. I gotta add more trains. Won't be long now. He gets through there, and then, you know, Ansel is, you know, coming up to mile, I don't know why it says 391 on both sides, but it does. So we'll say 391 up to here, which is 383. So he's 6 miles away now. And there's a way of telling when he's going to get closer. I'll show you without having to stare at the dispatch board. So if we look back towards us, once this thing lights up, it means he's in the block. Not all signals are like this, but this is an approach lit signal. So I can just put that down and relax. Put the keyboard down, relax, and enjoy the cloudy scenery. And all the wooden trees or flat trees or whatever people criticize this about. So yeah, we're at 385.5. So once he passes by, we throw that switch, we come out to the main, we ask for authority again. It should be the other way around, but it is the way, that's the way how it does it. So we would get authority because there's nothing else that's going to be lined in behind it, and we do our runaround move and we don't give up authority. We just basically, we're bringing it all the way. Yeah, this was supposed to be a short tutorial, but traffic had other ideas. I got stuck. What did I got stuck in Mojave? Yeah, I was stuck in Mojave. I was at 2 trains trying to battle for the same territory. I was able to sneak out of one. Actually, I did request. Well, see, switching or headroom or whatever, you can't ask for headroom. They always, either you're asking for a light or you don't even have permission to go through a light to request for yet. So those are some of the things the dispatcher can give you, but he treats everything as a clearance. Clearance or mainline authority. Mainline authority is not granted until you're on the mainline. So if you're sitting at a red light, the only way to give yourself a call-on signal is to, or permission to pass a signal is basically to give yourself the permission. Right mouse click on it, you get the lunar white, that gives you the flashing red, and once you're on the main, then you can ask for the mainline authority, and it'll give it to you, if especially if you're following. How many freight cars are we picking up today? I don't know. Was it 2, 3? We already picked them up. We're just doing a runaround move. I think it was what, 3, 4? I don't know how many cars it was. It's on the siding. We've done our set-offs. We just have to do a runaround maneuver and head back to Mojave. And the only thing that's preventing us is a mainline train that's headed this way. But he'll be here. Like if I was to hit F3, he might even, I don't know if he'll be out of it yet. Yeah. So he's already out of Ansel. He's not in this block yet, but he will be. You just watch the signal there, and you'll see. Once the signal gets lit up, and then we'll take a look at what's going on. So yeah, what I was picking up showed you on that switch list that I was doing earlier, the right control F11 that I was showing you. That shows you what you're picking up. If I was to, in fact, there's a flashing yellow right now. Okay, so he's in this block, and you can hear a detector, which is him. So, if I was to do right control L, there's nothing. Now, there is a pickup because way over here was the cars that I brought out. I could back up to Mojave, that's an option, but I would rather be lazy and pick up those cars. So these are the 2 cars that I picked up. Those are the ones I set off at this industry. We did work at the other industry as well, setting off cars. So these are the only cars we're picking up. This is the southern end of the Mojave run. So I figured it would be a good one to show for. See, now it's green, so it's been given. Yeah, so he's cleared past Mojave. We'll be following him into Mojave. Although it'll probably delay this guy a little bit more, but since they want to keep holding him, then it'd be kind of cool if it had the intelligence to say, no, you got to wait because this guy's got to get out, but it doesn't quite do that yet. So, hey, Bill. Okay, so now we'll go back to our switch location. I think it was Control 1, wasn't it? Well, better not. They'll probably put me somewhere that I don't want to be. Let's shift 1 there. Oh, there he is. Yeah, sound is definitely amazing. Scott's just being a dork. Okay, see, now let me come on. All right. Should I be nice and let him come? I think I will. I'll play it by the rules here. But I am taking advantage. Oops, a little too fast. Hey, it's still a game to me. Try to say that crap to me yesterday. I don't care. They don't simulate that. I don't care. Add it to the sim, and I'll step back. Okay, now. Oh yeah. Oh! I forgot to do something here. And I better hurry up and do it. Okay, so I'm at this end now. So now I change ends. To change ends, you just click on the unit you want to change to, set as lead unit. Make sure you're in neutral. Now you're going forward. Make sure you take the parking brake off because it automatically, I think, puts it back on. I don't know if it does or not. Let's call a dispatcher in case he has any ideas. You got to do this right away. I don't know what the routing was. I thought I canceled my routing. Okay. Well, I better cancel my routing because I don't know what the hell my routing is anymore. Now I don't have a routing. Am I 55 here? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm actually 70. How light is that light power? Use your foot as trigging. What? I didn't get that. Ah. Ah. Now it's interesting that it gave me, it says previous signal was, well, I guess it is now, but it's interesting that it didn't give me restricting speed, because I don't think I had a signal. I do have one coming up. I don't know if I can fit in fleet or not. It doesn't matter anyways. Overspeed alert? No. Slowing down. Coming up to a red signal, so I have to go restricted speed once I get to it. No overspeed. They don't give overspeed alerts. Oh, I got a, sorry, I got an approach signal. Oh, that was red. I gotta slow down anyways for the switch here. No, it's actually an intermediate signal. It should be that. I think it was red, but the train ahead of me got out of the way, so it was red, but then it went to approach. Okay. So now we go back down the siding. Actually, I will clear the siding here. Oops. I hate it when it does that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the time was. If it was the alerter, then I don't remember hearing the alerter, but yeah, it probably was the alerter. The alerter is you just have to hit the reset key or change the throttle position. If you don't respond to it, it'll stop your train. Okay, see, it's back to a yellow light. So it's just it's an intermediate signal. Okay, so I'll take that off, and we'll grab onto the other side here, as if we were walking through. Oops, too much. go this way. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, whatever. Wanted to grab into this side here, but oh, actually no. I do want to be in the cab. So it went dark because I'm off the main now. And what I'm gonna do is I'll be nice and I'll give up my my authority here. Let this guy go through. He won't be too long. Okay, so the authority is relinquished. See how the switches go? Because by the time he comes, let me stop that. By the time he comes over and I'm hooked up, it won't be a big deal. Sliding speed's 25 miles an hour. We'll take those industry tags off because we don't need those now. So I'll probably do one more tutorial later on after lunch. Planned on having lunch by now, but been busy. I like that though. Okay. So now, get back here again. Oops. You want to attach it? Yeah, we'll attach a flag this time. Nah. So now to let the air in. So this is a little bit different. So on this side we have, you can open this side up. You don't want, well, I'm surprised that did that, because it was against the close. No, that's because I had the air hoses. That was my fault. Well, so much for that tutorial. I'm used to the old. You back in version 2, these things hooked up automatically. You have to hook up the air. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you open it up. If it's not connected, it just throws right out. So there is a train coming towards us. That doesn't seem right. There we go. There he is. Now you can turn the speed control on if you want. There we go. So see, it didn't affect me at all, letting him go, because I knew I had a long way. This is a very long runaround siding. In fact, in the future, I will probably bring a full train with me. Now you can see that needle here that's going back and forth. What that is it's the speed control setting. I can bring it back a bit, see if that gives us enough. Not really. So to stay at 25, put it up to notch 3, and it lets go of the power, the amperage to the to keep us within the control speed that we want. So 24/7, 24/8, it keeps fluctuating back and forth. So you look at this signal here; it's actually green. Tell you what we'll do. I think it thinks I still have a signal somewhere. So cancel my routing. See, now it drops to yellow. I thought it was doing that before, and I don't know when it actually did that. And it just dropped to dark because the train behind me just got out of the block. We could have kept that. The problem is it's routing me to the main line, and I don't want that. Okay. So just for time's sake, I'm just gonna fly over here and get back in. See it goes to yellow over red here. Oh. First of all, don't need it. As long as nothing tries to come our way, it's a good idea to do it though. And that is to request mainline authority, but we're going to do this so quick that nothing else is going to get lined. The danger is when you do it, you got to make sure nothing else does get lined or else you're screwed. But we're fine there. Okay. So we never asked for it, we never got it. And what I'll do now is over here, I'm going to flick this, flick that. So right mouse clicks, click that, left mouse click, and then give myself a restricting signal. He won't do that for you. You got to do it. From here, I'll AI recrew. You can run the train. You can run the train again if you want, but and then we fly ahead here. So there's the flashing red light, which means we have access to the yard. And that switch is already set. What track do I want to put myself down? You know something, I'm going to put myself down the closest track. Not the closest, but the second closest, because the rest of our train is there. So we got to give ourselves this. So now we're acting as yard master of Mojave. So that's the rest of our train from here. And we're going to keep that switch set against us. I mean, the other thing would be, of course, is to bring all those cars together. I'm not going to bother doing that right now, though. So I go back to my train. And I hit relinquish when stopped. That train will now go all the way to the other end of the yard, and it will stop. So I now know I can go for lunch, and he's fine. My human need is now over. As you can see, he's honking the horn, he's doing his thing. He's going to go back into Mojave. The cars can stay the way they are. Doesn't matter. I mean, the yard job will just take care of putting it all together before the next local comes anyways, or I can just get out of the way and do its thing. But that's the end of this tutorial, guys. Sorry it was longer than I expected, but you know, traffic happens, and I'm gonna go for lunch and let auto control everything, and he'll stop there. No other switches will be thrown unless somebody came on and got nasty and threw a switch at the other end. Then, you know, that wouldn't have been nice, but I'm going to assume nobody's going to do that. So I can right mouse click this to take the manual off. This will resume normal operations once he comes in, and everything will be cool. So later on I'll do a tutorial with, I think I'll do a tutorial in the yard when I get back from lunch, so maybe around 1:30. No later than 2 o'clock, I would imagine. And we'll go over the sheets in Barstow, because I know that was a request. So hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up. Let's get it out there. And I'll do another tutorial Barstow and the sheets when I return from lunch later. And of course I'll have the normal big live stream tonight after supper. And yeah, I will get out today because it's supposed to be nice enough for me to get out around 4 o'clock or so, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.